What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video is centered around my last 30 days switching from Windows to Linux full-time. That means no Windows on this desktop whatsoever, and I can honestly tell you straight off the bat, it's been nothing but great. I've enjoyed nothing but Linux, and it's been great. Not good with my words today, so bear with me, okay? There might be a lot of repeating myself and other stuff, but I'm going to do the best that I can here to hopefully get this across. So I guess we're going to start off with, has anything changed from going to Windows, from Windows to Linux? No, nothing. My recording experience remained the same, so pretty much MKV, NVENC AV1, and 24-bit PCM audio, along with the same bitrate and the same preset and much more. Now, the only difference is key bindings don't work on Linux on Wayland. And that is honestly Wayland developers taking ages to implement in something that should be pretty much simple and straightforward to pull off. But because they're taking ages and fighting and bickering among each other like they always do, and that's why that's why currently HDR is not in a very good state. It's because the pull request needed for HDR is currently being fought and bickered over instead of being merged and pushed through when it's finished and completed. Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, like with Gnome and their color picker, or was it color picker? Accent colors. That's it. Yeah, it just took way too long to even pull off or implement or to merge. It's the way that Linux goes. They want to take their sweet time to argue about every little thing possible before they do anything right. And it's sad and holds Linux back more than people will ever know. Yeah, whatever. So OBS hasn't changed at all. There is one other thing that OBS has changed with, and that has to do with custom docs. So I'm going to turn that off. That's my preview window, and we're going to just maximize this. So if you're on Windows and you go into docs, you'll see the ability to add a custom doc. And sometimes if you go into settings and stream and you input all your information, so you log in, a custom doc will automatically show up on the left hand side for YouTube chat. That does not work in CEF on Wayland at the moment. That is a Chrome issue. Is it a Google Chrome issue? CEF is basically a framework of Chromium, so I'm blaming Google on this one. And the fact that it still hasn't been fixed all these years later, again, is really sad. And it's not an NVIDIA issue, it's not an AMD issue, it's just a CEF issue. So if I was to stream on X11 or to even, I guess, boot OBS up in X11 on Wayland, custom docs would show up. But I don't know exactly how it would perform because I haven't tested that. But I might do that tonight for the stream at 9. But I'm not sure if I'm going to stream tonight because I'm awfully tired. And now we're going to move on to Davinci Resolve because, well, I need to take a little bit of time to talk about this because editing videos is what I do and I use Davinci Resolve. I've had a lot of people for some reason ask me why I don't use Kdenlive. For me, Kdenlive is like taking a video editor from, how do I say this, 1999 and calling it modern because it just has support for modern things. It is slow to render out video, okay? If I was to render this out right now on my end, this clip from here to this breakpoint right here, okay? It would take probably 3 minutes at most, 1440p, 60 FPS, AV1, and that's no time at all. But if I was to do the same exact thing in Kdenlive with just this, it would end up taking about an hour because the maximum it seems to render out is at 60 FPS because it's not very optimized for rendering. And I use my GPU to render because honestly, it's the fastest thing that I have. CPU rendering is obsolete and kind of dead at the moment. So there's that. That's my opinion. You don't like it, that's up to you. I'm not really going to care if you like it or not. Just let me remind you of that. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy going from an open source video editor to a professional level video editor. It's literally night and day. Your workflow will increase beyond words. And another thing is, if you head here to keyboard customization, you can choose between, if you're used to Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro X or Avid Media, whatever, or Pro Tools, there you go. You can instantly just get it done and have it work because, well, it's Davinci's Resolve. They cover all the grounds. Not only that, but this is just one of the fastest, most optimized video editors that you can get that support Linux. No joke, it's perfect. And out of the box, it will automatically support Direct.io, which is nice. I gotta click that actually. And it will support CUDA. And if you have an AMD card, you're not gonna get so very lucky, but I wouldn't use an AMD card on Linux ever for anything remotely video editing, rendering out of any kind, or even gaming. And that's just me. It's just, that's not my thing, you know? I would rather, you know, actually have things work well and fast and efficient versus it will get better over time. It will get better over time. Their video editing will get better over time. RockM's gonna pick up speed here real quick and things are gonna be as fast as CUDA. No, they're not. No, the only hope that AMD users have is what's called ZLUDA. All right, talked enough about that. So Kdenlive's a no-go. I've tried every other open source video editor and they all have the same problem. Outdated, or a bad GUI, or a mixture of both, or the workflow and the rendering performance is absolutely abysmal, and that hasn't changed, and it's probably not going to change anytime soon. I don't know why, but Kdenlive's main focus seems to be on adding pointless features that almost nobody uses, but that's just a Plasma issue in the nutshell. Because I find that anything that is built with Qt framework tends to be over bloated with settings, but not settings that anybody will ever utilize or actually, well, utilize. Yeah, I think that actually summed it up. Yeah, but they have a lot of subtitle type things. Why? Stop that. Get working on features that are actually useful. Redesign the UI completely to be more a professional interface, and maybe, you know, actually optimize your backend for rendering out on the GPU so it's like 300 to 400 FPS like Davinci's Resolve, and call it a day. I mean, you have Davinci's Resolve. It's on Linux. You can literally just go and debug it, the crap out of it, and figure out what it does. Yeah, because your tool's unusable. I'm sorry. I'm not. But I have to say I am. Because, you know, someone's gonna get offended if I don't. God, I hate this world sometimes. So now we're going to move on to my desktop experience. Now, I've been going back and forth between KDE and Gnome. Gnome is my main thing. I will always stay on Gnome because it has everything that I want. And if it doesn't have it, then I can easily go and add it in and have more usability and control over what I do. Like with this. This is cool. I just did a video on this, by the way, in case you want to go check it out. It'll be linked at the end of this video. So Gnome's been perfect, and I know most people don't like hearing that because they have a lot of hate and detest for the Gnome developers, but Gnome has been great. I've had no downsides, no issues from using it, and I'm absolutely, honestly, in love with using Gnome, and no one can take that away from me. So the reason I stay on Gnome is because it's more organized, it's more designed better in a way, and unlike most people, I know that extensions don't break Gnome updates and they go out of date. But lately, since Gnome 40, whenever Gnome updates, right, the developers will take that development period of time and they will update their extensions so they're out for day one or even earlier. Most of my extensions, 99% of them, were ready for Gnome 46 out of the gate. And that says a lot because that's something that normally never happens. KDE in a nutshell is one of the buggiest desktop environments I have ever used. There's another one called Cutefish, and it's also built from Qt framework, but that thing was not buggy at all. It was simplistic, it was easy, it functioned, and it did not have any of the KDE issues or bugs that normal KDE has, and that was mind-blowing. It was like seeing KDE in the brainwashed light that everyone else sees. And I know someone's going to take offense to the fact that I said brainwashed, but you need to understand, just because you don't see a bug or it doesn't happen to you, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen to someone else. Okay? I'm the type of guy that can jump into any MMO, doesn't matter what it is, and I can break it in minutes. Okay? Hey, you can't get through here. You can't get out of this map. I broke out of the map. I have broken out of every single Guild Wars 2 map. I can still do it today. I have reported it, they fixed it, and I still found a way through. Okay? And here's the thing. If I report an issue to KDE, there's a big percentage of a chance they're not even going to bother to look at it or to fix it because they have other priorities, like rushing features into their desktop environment. So as far as desktop environment goes, when it comes to Gnome, it's a 10 out of 10 experience. When it comes to KDE, it's a 2 out of 10. They have a lot of work to do ahead of them, but they're making it more usable. Currently, they're going on a bug bash with Plasma 6.1.1. So if you have any bugs or you have any issues, report it along with the other 20,000 plus bugs that are already reported and not fixed. And hope for the best. Yeah, hope for the best. I don't have any actual hope, but if you do, hope extra for me. So I guess we should talk about Photoshop. Well, here's the thing. Photoshop, I really gotta update that friggin' thing, but it did work. Photoshop does work for me, and it's fully functionable. This is the version 2021.10 something. Let's go to help and check out. Is it help? Can we get there through help? About. Oh, it opened and it closed, so about does not work. Oh well, I don't really need to know anything about it anyway. I was trying to check the specific version, but over the weekend I did get Adobe 2023 to work, which also worked perfectly fine, just like this one. They made changes in 2024 version that changed the way that graphics handling works because they added all that AI garbage and stuff. So 2023 is completely usable. So is 2022, I found, with graphic acceleration and other stuff. But the reason I use this is because there's no alternative to Photoshop on Linux that is fully functionable to what Linux does. Krita is the closest one. I don't care what it's built for. I'm telling you what I can use it for. If I needed to suffer with Krita and have just it as my Photoshop replacement, I could do that without a problem. But its UX sucks. Its GUI is the most god-awful thing on the planet. It's got Blender syndrome, okay? Have you noticed that every single open source UX or GUI is honestly the most unfriendly, uncomfortable thing imaginable? It's not okay. And the biggest exceptions to these are Gnome. There's no alternative to Photoshop. There isn't. I can make one work, but in the end, it's still going to be hell on wheels. And Adobe has literally shot themselves in the foot at this point. So if they get taken out, well, they get taken out. I'll still use this as long as I can. But for now, there's just zero alternative to Photoshop. Not GIMP, not Krita, not Inkscape, nothing can utterly even touch or replace Photoshop. I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen for a very long time. Now, I'm hoping that someone puts enough effort in that Affinity starts working on Linux as well as this does. Because if it does, if it starts to fully function, then I can replace that with Infinity Designer, and then I would have no issues. But I don't have that option right now. So there was a question of, why do you still use Adobe? I mean, you're trying to get away from Microsoft. Adobe isn't Microsoft. Adobe is also doing a Microsoft type things where they're spying on you and they want to look at all your work and they want to have access to all your work, but none of that exists in this version. This version has all telemetry removed, disabled. It's like you are a ghost to Adobe. They don't even know you exist. Okay? All right? So, again, yeah, it's a wine application, but who gives a shit if it works and your workflow allows you to get things done the way that it should? Do you want me to sit there for 3.5 hours suffering with GIMP, trying to literally make things look even remotely as good as this does? Oh, thank you. I've been down that road earlier in the YouTube career where I used to use GIMP, and each and every time I finished a thumbnail, I felt a gun barrel to my friggin' temple. It's not fun. It was bad for my mental health, and it was not fast, it was not efficient, and there's nothing more important than a good, solid workflow. Plus, every time I upscaled or even like took a logo like this and hit Control T, if I did this right here, if I just scaled that up right now in GIMP, it would take away almost all of the quality in the image. They have gotten better, but it's nowhere even remotely close. This is like a lossless scale. It's beautiful. Well, I guess we're going to talk about gaming. And I wanted to edit in a whole bunch of clips and stuff, but I figured maybe this would be a bit better. So these are the games that I play on Steam. There's Dead Island 2, Guild Wars 2, Black Desert Online, Mirthwood Demo. I'm waiting for that to update a little bit more. Outlast 2. I don't play Palworld. I installed that to see if it would still work, and it does. And again, we head into Lutris, and you'll see that I have Ubi Connect in here. And I usually have EA app installed, but I don't at the moment. And I also have the Heroic Game Launcher, which has the Epic games and the GOG games. So Days Gone, Metro Exodus, and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, for some reason, they are not showing even though my gaming drive is connected. Which means I'll have to prepare the location which they are. How annoying. But it is what it is. So to get rid of it, I just have to go here and I have to go here and just uninstall and just hit yes like that. And same thing goes for here. Gone. Now, I've fully played Metro Exodus from start to finish on Linux. Zero problems, zero issues with it, okay? Gonna get rid of this as well. And the reason for that, oh, look, it found Metro Exodus for a second and then it was gone. And the reason for that is because gaming on Linux is a lot more up to date and ready than people give it credit for. Like if I wanted to play Horizon Forbidden West from start to finish, it plays that from start and finish. Ghosts of whatever the hell you want to call it, start to finish, no issues there. Cyberpunk, you name it, any one of these games, all 435 of these games works from start to finish. And it's crazy about the amount of ignorance surrounding gaming in general when it comes to gaming, like their experience, their lack of knowledge, it shows. And it's so annoying. Like, there's people that think gaming on Linux is stuttery and broken, when in actuality, it's smooth, it's fast, it's efficient, and it just works 99% of the time. People also think that Proton has little to no game compatibility. Truth is, most people haven't reported the amount of games there actually are on Steam yet to really show the true amount of game compatibility. We were going to talk about it. You notice that I have 435 games with GOG and Epic combined. All of those except for probably, well, Fortnite's not actually in my collection. So all of my Epic games and all of my GOG games work without issue. All right? Hey, what the hell? I just finished installing you, you jerk. Sometimes Heroic doesn't like to listen. Let's see if this makes it work now. Yay, you're imported, but are you going to show that you're working? Or am I going to have to right click you and reload you? It's one of those days. I need to get that working pretty soon too, because I'm gonna be trying to play that on stream. So why do people have such little knowledge of how gaming works on Linux? Because they see the Steam Deck and they see a bunch of games that are rated to be working or gold or platinum, and they think that's it. They don't know the half of it. They don't even know a percentage of it, and it's sad. And correcting those people is nearly impossible, because once they see something, they instantly are stuck in their own ways, and it's hard to get them out of it unless you actually show them that something works. You know what I mean? Let's choose that and let's see what happens here. Because I know I have you installed. Okay, I think maybe the game has deleted itself for some reason. I don't know. But installing it is as simple as this. I'm actually going to go to games and I'm going to go here. Permission, create it, size is, yeah, it went and deleted the game. Okay. So that's annoying. Even though I did uninstall it, I did not tell it to delete itself. And as you can see, it didn't delete that, or it also did not delete this game either. So installing it, there we go. So installing it's going to be pretty easy. Just choose here. And then we're going to set the wine settings to Proton. And that's it. Then it's going to just start the installation and get it done. I know a lot of people are just like, well, you have to configure this, and this to even get a game started. No. Install Heroic Game Launcher, log into the stores and the libraries you want, hit install, select either Wine or Proton. If you don't have either, you can go ahead in here and grab the newest Proton GE or the newest Wine, and you're good to go. Same thing with Steam. When it comes to Steam, you head into here, you go into settings, you go into compatibility, you click this button, you choose your Proton, and you're good to go. And then all your games will install. It's literally install Steam, click a button, install games, go. On Windows, install Steam. You don't have to click the compatibility button, but that's just one extra step, and then install games and go. So Linux is only one extra step, but some distros are automatically enabling it to where you just have to install Steam and go. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Why not? If it functions, if it works, it works. Now, EAC and anti-cheat games. The only one I would ever play was the Division 2, which works without an issue. So anti-cheat's functional on that. And Battlefield 2042. I played Battlefield 2042 still on my laptop on the weekends. That's my go-to toy. But on my desktop, I can't play it. And I'm fine with that. Because my laptop is a gaming laptop. It's got a 3070. It's got a 5800H. It just works. So I'm very happy and content with having things that way. So yeah. And as you can see, look, it's downloading at 211 plus megabytes a second. Megabytes, not megabits. We're not a third world country. So re-downloading my games is super easy and efficient in case I just want to swap one out with another. Like for right now, Metro Exodus is done. I beat it. We played it on stream from start to finish, so I can go and get rid of it. And I will try to insert some clips right here of me playing Metro Exodus on stream for you guys. Okay? And that should last to the end of this segment. Or heck, I could randomly throw it in for you. I don't know. We'll see. But gaming just works, whether people want to tell you that or not. If you're worried about, will this game work or will this game not work, why don't you go into a Discord with actual Linux users versus non-Linux users like the Nobara Discord and just ask, hey, does anybody have experience with this game? Does it work? And if they tell you yes, then you're good to go. You have nothing to fear. So that was one of the things that people asked when I switched to Windows. Do I miss anything? No, because everything works, minus Battlefield 2042, and I have my laptop for that. So I'm not really missing out on anything. I'm not missing out on Photoshop, OBS, Davinci Resolve, Cider, VestCord, or any of my applications because I have alternatives or I have stuff that just works. Well, I guess we could end the video like this. Linux has been a 10 out of 10 experience, whether it be CachyOS, Nobara Linux, or Fedora 40. It doesn't matter which one because you can customize each distro to work for you, or distro. We come from different places. My culture of people, we talk differently, get over it. But the end result is I'm happy and I'm content. And if you're not and you've had other issues, you can't really tell me that I'll have a worst experience. Like, I had this one guy in my comments tell me that I'm gonna have a hard time because Linux is difficult to learn. I've had 25 years to learn Linux. And I've learned it in such a way where I can do things the complete and utter disaster way, or I can do the things that are quick and efficient way, or I can compile something from scratch. I know how to do all of that. Linux has been easier for me than Windows because of the way that my brain works. And that says everything. That says everything. Do you want to know why? Because I'm not a normal person. I have autism. I'm proud to be an autistic person because if I want to learn something, it takes me an hour. If I want to master something, it takes me a day. If I want to learn a way more advanced version of that, well, I can do just that because that is how I am built. I don't want to do cooking. I'm about to totally just go off the bar here. Why would I want to pick a coconut? Is there like something actually useful here? Build sand exchange? Okay, we'll build the sand exchange. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. Linux is designed as a puzzle for me. And I've put the puzzle together. I've pieced the puzzle together. And I'm happy where I am. I have no regrets. And if you do, I don't think you've learned Linux in the way that suits you. But I will try to make videos that will help you learn Linux in a better way. Because that's my goal from here on in. To teach people how to use Linux in such a way that their eyes open up and realize that Linux is just as easy, if not more easy, than Windows. Because lately you just install applications and go. Yeah, I think that pretty much well describes it. Like how people, if they want Spotify, they can just go and install SpotTube. Where are you? Where are you, SpotTube? Do I have SpotTube installed on this one? Or is it the other distro? There it is. Like this is a Spotify alternative, okay, that allows you to have better audio quality with Spotify with a completely brand new open source looking GUI. All right, there you go. You get to have a choice. I hope you guys understand. I hope I went over everything okay. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to Linux, because I'll help you any way that I can in getting to learn it. Jump into my Discord. You can also jump in the Nobara Discord. They're very helpful there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Help me out with the algorithm.